Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In our last video, we talked about a touching poem by Pablo Neruda called Tonight I Can Write. If you have not seen it, you can check it out later. Today, we are going to explore another beautiful poem by Neruda called The Way Spain Was. We will discover the amazing things about Spain through his words, the pretty views, the rich culture, and how the people feel. It's going to be a magical journey of poetry once more. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and join us on this exciting adventure. The Way Spain Was. This is a poem with political background. This poem has Spanish Civil War as its background, which was fought in Spain from 1936 to 1939. The Spanish Civil War was fought between the Republican and nationalist factions. The Republican group, headed by Francisco Caballero, represented various left-wing and liberal forces, while the nationalist side was led by Francisco Franco and supported by conservative groups, landowners, and Catholic Church. After 3 years long war, the Republicans surrendered and it was nationalists that won, and Francisco Franco became a dictator. Neruda's poem, The Way Spain Was, examines the political and social turmoil of Spain during the Civil War. Spain has paid a huge price because of this civil war. The psyche of the Spanish people was seriously affected because of this conflict. It was the background of the poem. In order to understand, in order to have a detailed analysis of the poem, it was very important to understand the historical background, the Spanish Civil War. Now let's proceed with the comprehensive analysis of the poem. Spain was stout, dry drum head, daily beating a dull thud. Flat lands, an eagle's nest, silence lashed by the storm. The opening stanza's first 4 lines run on without any punctuation. He makes the negative imagery in these initial lines. He says Spain was a tout. Tout means stressed. It means stretched narrow or pulled tight, which are negative adjectives. Now, why was Spain stressed? It is stressed, yes, because of civil war. The civil war had a very bad effect upon Spain, and it left Spain dry and dull. Spain was stout, dry drum head, daily beating a dull thud. He is using the image of the process of drying out the liquid out of an object. So, the Spain has been dried out. It has been drained out of everything. It is now a stressed land because of this civil war. There is a dull sound coming out of it. There is no music, there is no charm, there is no vigor, there is no joy left in it. The affairs of the country are in a very bad condition. Civil war has destroyed the entire Spain, whether it is flat lands or lows or plains or eagles' nest. Eagles typically make their nests high upon cliffs. So the spans, highs and lows, every corner of Spain has been lashed by the storm of this war. Civil war ruined everything related to Spain. It ruined the cities, it ruined the villages, it ruined mountains. When this storm passed away, they were left with complete silence, with killing silence. How much to the point of weeping in my soul. I love your hard soil, your poor bread, your poor people. How much in the deep place of my being there is still the lost flower of your wrinkled villages, motionless in time, and your metallic meadows, stretched out in the moonlight through the ages, now devoured by a false god. When the Spain was on fire, when there was storm in Spain, when Spain was in deep distress, Neruda still finds a great deal of love. He becomes so emotional that he is at the point of weeping. He expresses his deep love for his land. He loves the hard soil, the barren soil. He loves the poor bread. He loves the poor people. It has been long that he left the Spain, but still there is in his memories the lost flower of Spain. He recalls the beauty of the countryside and the poor people who lived there. He also mourns over the losses the country suffered and how all parts of Spain were touched by war and political and social strife. He also weeps over the poor people of Spain and the wrinkled villages they came from. Wrinkled villages is a transferred epithet. In a transferred epithet, an adjective shifts its descriptive focus from one noun to another. So these Spanish villages are wrinkled. Why they are wrinkled? Because their minds are tightened. Why they are wrinkled? Because of civil war, because of this turmoil, because of this confusion. There is also the mention of metallic meadows. This is a very powerful alliteration that speaks of the contradiction of the world. He could be simply describing how everything has been turned upside down, or thinking on the metal that is now in the fields. Metallic meadows stretched out in moonlight through the ages are devoured by false gods. Who are these false gods? These false gods are those rulers who waged the civil war. These false gods are those dictators, those heads who are responsible for making the innocent public, for making their mind sick. The false gods are those dictators who fought the civil war and then destroyed the entire Spain. Here ends the first stanza. The Way Spain Was by Pablo Neruda is a 3-stanza poem that is separated into one set of 12 lines and 2 sets of 5. Now, the second stanza. All your confinement, your animal isolation, while you are still conscious, surrounded by the abstract stones of silence. Your rough wine, your smooth wine, your violent and dangerous vineyards. Now In this second stanza, the focus shifts to confinement of Spain. The poor people of Spain have been pushed to a corner. The innocent, the helpless, the hopeless people have been pushed behind the bars for no reason, for no charge. They are isolated from one another. They are isolated from the rest of the world. It is an animal isolation. It is not a physical isolation as much as it is a mental or emotional one. They are not allowed to speak. They are not allowed to write. They are not even allowed to think. They are in complete isolation. They are in complete confinement. But in spite of this animal isolation, in spite of this terrible confinement which has scared the souls of the people, positive thing is there. One positive thing is there. You know what? That positive thing is that they are still alive. They can still feel. They are still conscious. This consciousness brings hope for change. There is an abstract wall made of stones of silence around the hard soil, around this country. If the people of Spain can break those walls, if the people of Spain can crush those stones of silence, if they speak up, then they can have an ideal land to live in. Now, the last stanza. Solar stone, pure among the regions of the world, Spain streaked with blood and metal, blue and victorious. Proletarian Spain made of petals and bullets, unique, alive, asleep, resounding. In the last stanza, the poet, he talks about precious stone. Spain was, rich in this solar stone. He is praising his nation. He is trying to appreciate the strength, the power, the unity, the selfless souls of Spanish people. Solar stone, pure among the regions of the world. With blood and metal, blue and victorious, proletarian Spain made of petals and bullets, unique, alive, asleep. He is praising his nation. Furthermore, he speaks in greater detail on the duality of the country. It is at the same time rough and smooth. The wine, the symbol of resources the country has to offer, is violent and delicate, causing good and bad events to befall the land. The people of Spain are the ones who are most clearly made of petals and bullets. The poem ends with a hopeful message about the resounding goodness of Spain that will last longer than the strife. Neruda states that Spain is a country that is unique, that is alive. In spite of all these, miseries, the people of Spain are still alive. They are unique, asleep. No doubt they are in deep slumber, they are in deep sleep, but resounding. Its beauty and general goodness radiate from the land. It is this that he wants to remember and set into history more than anything else. It was all for today. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Allah Hafiz and take care.